Just yeah, I think last month I revisited Hey Ram, and what a performance!
Thank you. That was my first film.
Yeah, and recently 22 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So before we get on to Rudra, would you like to share any experience or anything about the film? Because I was mind blown again, all over again.
No, I think I was, my first director was Mr. Kamal Haasan. And I think the story ends there. What more can a newcomer ask that Mr. Kamal Haasan is directing you? Tiru was the cameraman, and there were stalwarts, and such a wonderful script, so much ahead of its time, as Kamalji always has been. So, and that was my school, I would say, because I came from theatre, and Heram was my film school.
Great. And so quickly coming to Rudra, the trailer itself was, as Ajay Devgn says, with lots of tod and darkness. So you have done quite a few shows on OTT. So how was this one different, considering, it seems that it has a bigger budget, and I'm assuming because Ajay Devgn is there and, the star cast is there, there's gonna be it's gonna attract a lot of eyeballs.
Absolutely. We are talking about the biggest show on Indian OTT ever. So we are talking about that. We are talking about the first A-lister doing, coming on OTT. We are talking about a great thriller, which has been raved all over the world, the original version of it.
Yeah.
We are talking about a great, Indianizing of that show. Because we Indians are all about emotions, we Indians are all about relationships and all that. And there is, though Rudra is a thriller, such a great thriller and investigative drama, Rudra is also about emotions. Rudra is also about relationships, as it is very evident in the trailer as well. So, and these relationships are not simple relationships, they are very complex relationships, and they are flowing. So there are lots of twists and turns in those relationships. So Rudra is also about this. So in Dharamji's words, इसमें emotions है, इसमें drama है, इसमें comedy है, इसमें action है, इसमें सब कुछ है.
What is your role like in the show?
Yeah. No, I think what I said just now to answer your last question, this Rudra is about these characters. So Gautam, Rudra, they are all Kali.
Okay.
And they are into their profession together, but at the same time, they are into their lives together because they have been working so long.
Yeah.
So Gautam, of course, is the closest friend that Rudra has, and Rudra is the closest friend that Gautam has. And how their journey proceeds apart from the cases that they are investigating.
As far as I remember, before this, the only time you worked with Ajay Devgn was in Khaki, and you guys didn't share many scenes, I guess, in that one.
No, not much.
Because you were on the other side the whole time. So finally, after I think 22 years, you guys worked together. How was the experience?
Fantastic, because see, Ajay ji is not just an actor. He is a director. He is a producer. He is a great technician. He writes. So there are so many facets to him. As far as action is concerned, he has so much knowledge about it. So there are people who have experience in them, imbibed in them. And when they come on set, they come with all that experience and they share it with the director, with the actor, not very knowingly, but very unknowingly. Whenever they are talking about the scene, they are talking about the choreography, they are talking about things, and they are sharing, they are delivering their dialogues. They are, every time that experience oozes out. And I think Ajay ji is the best example. 25 years in this industry.
Yeah.
It was really wonderful to work with him. Really wonderful.
Of late you have been literally killing it on OTT. I mean, just recently, last week, a Thursday had released, and before that, you had last year you had a couple of OTT releases as well. So, how do you see this space? And also, it also seems like every other week there is an Atul Kulkarni show or a movie releasing. It's almost like how it used to be in 90s with the actors. They'll be shooting for multiple films. So how do you manage that, and then what is your process of getting in and out of characters?
Uh, See, Gaurang, I think I have been very lucky right from beginning. As we were talking, if you get Mr. Kamal Haasan as your first
Exactly.
from where you start, and then you get your Madhur Bhandarkars and Rakesh Mehras and Rajkumar Santoshis and all that. So uh, I have been extremely lucky to have been offered such great scripts and such great roles. As far as OTT is concerned, you're absolutely right. It has been quite a ride. Even I, get, bogged down by when I see that on multiple platforms, may it be, Test Case, Riker Case, and then Bandage Bandits and City of Dreams and Thursday and whatnot. But I can just be thankful to my fate that such good scripts and all have been hits.
Exactly.
So there is only one reason for that. I'm lucky. That's it.
There is this emergence of OTT space in India, and there have been debates about ki ab pata nahi big screen ka kya hoga, and Tamil and Telugu films and other South Indian films, they have had huge successes in the period. However, in Bollywood, as far as I remember, in the Hindi film industry, only Suryavanshi was the only one that worked, in big way. So, what do you think is the reason that Hindi film industry hasn't been able to revive itself?
I do remember the same dialogue when television cable came in throughout India. I remember the same debate when the video cassettes came in.
Yeah.
And the video parlors came in. I remember the same dialogues when the CDs came in, when the home theaters came in. So films have survived all these debates and all these challenges, and when we look back, we realize that these were just mere debates. The films have just moved on. They have adjusted themselves to the new technologies, the new platforms, and they have just, they have went from big to bigger. Even if you look at the collections, they have just mounted up and up and up over the last years. So, of course, there are going to be different phases, I would say, not challenges. There are going to be different phases. The one challenge that the entire world and all professions faced in last 2 years, we all know, was the pandemic. And every industry was going to get affected. So I think it is matter of time that, there is a term called revenge tourism, if you have heard about it. Yeah. So there is going to be a revenge touring of cinemas. You just look at the collections when the big films open up. You just look at them.
Definitely, I am looking forward to the films, in theaters. Coming back to Rudra. So, like we discussed, like you said, that it is the biggest show on OTT space, and you have worked in a lot of OTT shows and movies. So, was working on this show in long format, was it different? In terms of the budget, in terms of the canvas, how was it?
See, only the canvas decides the budget. It is not the other way. When you select a story, then you basically select a canvas. And then, of course, it requires a certain budget. So budget, of course, is important. But a big thing is not made only on budgets. A big thing is about the vision that the director has, the producers have, the cast has, the crew has. So Rudra, of course, was like any other film, I would say. So you would be watching probably 6 films without interval, because I don't think people are going to stop after one episode. They are going to binge watch 6 episodes. So we have made a film of 6 episodes which you will watch without interval.
That's great. And so you have aced almost all the genres that I've seen. And I think last year I also saw you doing comedy.
Sandwich forever. Yeah.
I think I don't remember seeing you do comedies much. So I think it was for the first time that I was seeing you do comedies.
In Hindi, I had done Charlie's Chaurasi.
Yeah, Charlie's Chaurasi was, but then again, that was also sort of, the crime comedy genre.
Yeah, but still a comedy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. In Marathi, I have done a few comedies. In fact, I started my journey as an amateur actor with comedies in Solapur. In my college gathering and in other places, I started with comedy. But it so happens that when your first hit, your second hit is a certain serious, hard-hitting kind of a character, you are offered, those kind of roles. But yes, as you rightly mentioned, Sandwiched Forever, the comedy show which I did last year, that was really fun. And of course, I would love to do more comedy, more romance, and more fights. And yeah, whatever. I'm an actor, so whatever good is offered to me.
That is great. And lastly, I have to ask if there is. Recently, I was, a bit heartbroken because I was looking forward to Lal Singh Chadda. So what is happening on that front? It's
11th August, we are coming out. As I just mentioned, pandemic has played a lot of, spoiler to a lot of things, and our VFX work and all. We had a lot of challenges shooting because it's a huge film shot all over India and all that. So we have been having a lot of challenges, and that's why the postponement. But 11th August, we are definitely coming out.
So will we also see you play a role in the film, or you're just as a writer?
I've just written the film.
Okay, great. So all the best for Rudra. I'm looking forward to it. And
thank you.
It's great chatting with you.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks.